The first question is, do you or your government seek the destruction of the state of Israel as a Jewish state?
We love all nations. We are friends with the Jewish people. There are many Jews in Iran living peacefully with security. You must understand that in our constitution, in our laws, in the parliamentary elections, for every 150,000 people, we get one representative in the parliament. For the Jewish community, for 1/5 of this number, they still get one independent representative in the parliament. So our proposal to the Palestinian plight is a humanitarian and democratic proposal. What we say is that to solve this 60-year problem, we must allow the Palestinian people to decide about its future for itself. This is compatible with the spirit of the Charter of the United Nations and the fundamental principles enshrined in it. We must allow Jewish Palestinians, Muslim Palestinians, and Christian Palestinians to determine their own fate themselves through a free referendum. Whatever they choose as a nation, everybody should accept and respect. Nobody should interfere in the affairs of the Palestinian nation. Nobody should sow the seeds of discord. Nobody should spend tens of billions of dollars equipping and arming one group there. We have say, allow the Palestinian nation to decide its own future, to have the right to self-determination for itself. This is what we are saying as the Iranian nation.
Mr. President, I think many members of our audience would like to hear clearer answers to that question. That is, the question is, do you or your government seek the destruction of the state of Israel as a Jewish state? And I think you could answer that question with a single word, either yes or no.
بله شما سوال میکنید بعد پاسخش رو هم میخواید.
And then you want the answer the way you want to hear it. Well, this isn't really a free flow of information. I'm just telling you what my position is. I'm asking you, is the Palestinian issue not an international issue of prominence or not? Please tell me, yes or no.
Ahmadinejad is crazy. He's a madman. The more we see of him and the more we goad him, the more he's going to look like a madman.
What would you have said if you were permitted to visit the site of the September 11th tragedy?
Well, here I'm your guest. I've been invited by Columbia, an official invitation given for me to come here. But I do want to say something here. In Iran, when you invite a guest, you respect them. This is our tradition, required by our culture. And I know that American people have that culture as well. Last year, I wanted to go to the site of the September 11 tragedy to show respect to the victims of the tragedy, to show my sympathy with their families. But our plans got overextended. We were involved in negotiations and meetings till midnight, and they said it would be very difficult to go visit the site at that late hour of the night. So I told my friends then that they need to plan this for the following year so that I can go and visit the site and to show my respect. Regretfully, some groups had very strong reactions, very bad reactions. Well, it's bad for someone to prevent someone to show sympathy to the families of the victims of the September 11 event, tragic event. This is a respect from my side. Somebody told me this is an insult. I said, what are you saying? This is my way of showing my respect. Why would you think that? Thinking like this, how do you expect to manage the world and world affairs? Don't you think that a lot of problems in the world come from the way you look at issues, because of this kind of way of thinking, because of this sort of pessimistic approach towards a lot of people, because of sort of a level of selfishness, self-absorption that needs to be put aside?
You know, look at what he looks like. He looks like he gets his clothes from the, the bargain bin of the Baghdad thrift shop. He doesn't look like a world leader.
In Iran, we don't have homosexuals like in your country. We don't have that in our country. In Iran, we do not have this phenomenon. I don't know who's told you that we have it.
In some ways, having him get up and speak is a good thing, because there's a lot of progressive younger people in Iran who you say might be embarrassed by his presence, basically.
Totally. And, they're all on the Internet. I say, take a picture of this guy at the UN and then YouTube it around the world.
Why is your government providing aid to terrorists? Will you stop doing so and permit international monitoring to certify that you have stopped?
Well, I want to pose a question here to you. If someone comes and explodes bombs around you, threatens your president, members of the administration, kills the members of the Senate or Congress, how would you treat them? Would you award them, or would you name them a terrorist group? Well, it's clear. You would call them a terrorist. My dear friends, the Iranian nation is a victim of terrorism. For 26 years ago, where I work, close to where I work, in a terrorist operation, the elected president of the Iranian nation and the elected prime minister of Iran lost their lives in a bomb explosion. They turned into ashes. A month later, in another terrorist operation, 72 members of our parliament and high-ranking officials, including 4 ministers and 8 deputy ministers' bodies were shattered into pieces as a result of terrorist attacks. Within 6 months, over 4,000 Iranians lost their lives, assassinated by terrorist groups. All this carried out by the hand of one single terrorist group. Regretfully, that same terrorist group now, today, in your country, is being operating under the support of the U.S. administration, working freely, distributing declarations freely, and their camps in Iraq are supported by the U.S. government.
I think we really want to get this on television, and we want to YouTube it around the world, and they can judge. Is this the guy they want for their leader?
September 11th tragic event was a huge event. It led to a lot of many other events afterwards. After 9/11, Afghanistan was occupied, and then Iraq was occupied. And for 6 years in our region, there is insecurity, terror, and fear. If the root causes of 9/11 are examined properly, why it was happened, what caused it, what were the conditions that led to it, who truly was involved, who was really involved, and put it all together to understand how to prevent the crisis in Iraq, fix the problem in Afghanistan and Iraq combined. You have created the 5th generation of atomic bombs and are testing them already. What position are you in to question the peaceful purposes of other people who want nuclear power? We do not believe in nuclear weapons, period. It goes against the whole grain of humanity. So, let me just tell a joke here. I think The politicians who are after atomic bombs or are testing them, making them, politically, they are backward, retarded.